cut off because I forgot to delete the other videos that were on it. Anyway, Brian, he, so we had a nice massage thing at the beach, okay? I paid him $100, and, just massaged me for an hour, and I begged him, I think he gave me 15 extra minutes for free, not to be massaged, just to sit there and lean against him, okay? So he wanted to see me again, but, because remember, he was definitely physically attracted to me. It was mutual physical attraction. And it doesn't make sense. Nothing ever does make sense. Okay. This is what he told me. He told me that, he was saying this before we hooked up at the beach, because we went back and forth conversing through phone calls, email, whatever, like for a month. Okay. I think more emails than phone calls. In any case, he told me, he says this to me. We're going to preface this with this, and then you're going to flash forward to what he wound up doing, which doesn't make sense in light of that, okay? Doesn't make sense in light of that. Now, forget about, okay, so he wanted this, right? He wanted this, remember, it's going to be this, about 35 pounds thinner and about 8, 9 years younger, okay? So he wanted that, okay, but he wasn't willing to make any effort just to show me that he liked me for more than that, okay? Which is all fine and good, but he also had said stuff before that he didn't have to say. He had no reason to make it up. He had no reason to say it. We hadn't even met yet. He had no reason to say it. It was a done deal. He had to work and stuff, so it was based on his schedule where we were going to meet at the beach, okay? He told me every time I open up one of your emails, it's like getting a Christmas present, okay? Which means he liked the things that I wrote. Don't know what I wrote, doesn't really matter. Who knows what I wrote? I have a brain. Even if people just ought to have preconceived notions, might not realize it. I don't just have a brain, I have a pretty damn good one. All it's got me is being here all alone and lonely. I'm supposed to at least be with Joe, platonically. Don't do that. This chap lives in what's wrong with them either. I hope it's not an infection. Like I said, it said online you can get, if your lips chap too much, bacteria can get in there. No, it's bleeding down. I am putting expensive Manuka honey on it though. That shit costs, from Vitacost, I get a discount on it, but without the discount, it's like $30 a bottle. So, jar. It's the good crap. Manuka honey is really good for you. Kourtney Kardashian says she gives her kids Manuka honey. Kourtney Kardashian gets to have in terms of that, that's what I'd always fantasized about, is they don't care. They're out in public and can't keep their hands off each other. Again, you have to have that in you. Joe didn't, and Donald was an asshole. You always have to preface. Joe didn't have that. Joe wasn't that type of guy. He's a wonderful sweetheart, and of course, totally non-selfish in bed. Okay, don't get me wrong. Joe was a total sweetheart and totally non-selfish in bed. Okay, and then Donald was a fucking asshole. Okay, anyhow. Manuka honey, and my lips are all chapped, just on the bottom. That's why it's just on the bottom. Like, something could have happened. It could have been being out in the sun. SPF 50 might not have been enough, although I was only out for like an hour and a half, but it's 90, like almost, it was hot. So even walking in an hour and a half in that heat, you know, I could have done a number on my lips. Lips to lips are very, very, very fragile. They can shape like that. They can chop like that. It says takes weeks to fully heal. But also, on the one hand, it says it takes weeks to fully heal. On the other hand, it says if your methods of home, trying to do coconut oil, do this or do that, don't work, then go see a doctor. It says see a dermatologist. The doctor refers. I was wearing sunscreen on my lips. I just might not, maybe 15's not enough, you know, considering how fucking hot out it was. I didn't get burned. You know what I mean? Take it a little color. I didn't get burned. I didn't get sunburned. I wasn't out and sitting in the sun. I was walking for about an hour and a half. I like to natural, cut her eyes like a natural stuff. There's still that sunscreen in it, but I need something stronger. I don't want to give up my walks. They're my salvation. Only because I can blast my music in my ears. I wouldn't want to be walking. It wouldn't be my salvation at all. It's the music in my ears. It's not the walking. The walking helps me, you know, try to maintain this as best as possible at 53 years old. It's my music in my ears. It's my salvation. Okay. I'm genuinely appreciative that these strangers have written all these songs that made me happy, have made me happy for decades. A couple of them were making me happy decades ago. Kid Rock and Metallica. Papa Roach. Those three. They were making me happy decades ago. Before I went to Aspen. Before I walked into them. Unknowingly. Anyhow, back to Brian. So, you claim, and you said it just out of the blue, you seemed genuine, you had no reason to say it, you didn't have to say it. It was a done deal, I was planning on paying you. All I needed was your willingness, me being physically attracted to you, and you having the ability to massage a guest. Not all guys do. If he was my boyfriend, and he had, but again, you have to have that in you, okay? It can't be forced, it has to be instinctive. If he was my boyfriend, he could be massaging me on the beach, and biting on my ear, and nibbling on my ear and neck, and saying things in my ears. Anyhow. Brian, okay, so he met me, but it just goes to show, I don't know, just people I don't know. It wasn't worth it to him to just see me on one other occasion, okay? Maybe if he had seen me on one other occasion where I didn't have to pay him and he was willing to do that, maybe we would have gone to a hotel in another, you know what I mean? No, he wasn't willing. And that was like, fuck you, I'm not gonna be, I was mad at him. He tried to sweet talk me. He was on the phone describing all the things he would do to me. And I have control. Okay? He was on the phone. This was after we'd gone to the beach. That whole thing, okay? I'm not going to go to a hotel with you. I tested him. I want to see if you're willing to see me one other time where we're not going to a hotel to have sex or whatever. And he wasn't, in the end, he just wasn't interested. He wasn't willing to do that, so fuck him. Okay. That was that. I don't care how turned on I was. He had me so turned on. And I said no. I did, because I knew that no matter how much he was able to talk to me on the phone, in person, I would be scared, I would be vulnerable, I would be nervous, and I probably would flash back to it doesn't matter, I didn't trust him. Okay? Didn't trust him. I'm not going to go have sex with you in the hotel. Oh, and then he tried to play his little coy. That's what Alicia tried to do, Brian. Tried to do this coy thing. You men are just... Oh, well, we won't have to have sex. We can just watch porn and just... Yeah, I don't think so, Brian. I don't think so. Like, that wasn't going to happen. Nothing was going to happen. If I was in that hotel room with you, I would wind up having sex. You know what I mean? It wasn't going to do it. It wasn't going to do it. Because I knew that I didn't want to. I knew that I wouldn't be comfortable. Because you're not Doug, okay? Doug was my FWB. But Doug showed me that he cared about me before, you know. I didn't do it. I was very proud of myself. Because I was smart. I was using judgment and discernment and knowing me. Again, it wasn't because I thought he'd hurt me. I didn't think he'd hurt me. I just thought that it wouldn't even wind up being enjoyable. That he could say all these things on the phone, blah, 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 and in the end, he's not obligated to do any of that. You know? When I went to the foot guy's house, he was more interested in touching himself than sucking on my feet. So when he had me in his bed, okay? So you could say blah, 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 and then, you know, but Brian wouldn't, he wasn't willing, okay? So it's really interesting to me. So the chance to, but that proves he didn't really care to get to know me as a person or whatever, you know. The chance to be with us that he was attracted to, definitely, it was not worth it to him just to see me again. And again, I wasn't asking him to take me on a date. I didn't want to go on a date. We could have gone to the beach again, just not me paying it. Could have been totally free. In fact, that's probably what I said. No. No. It wasn't like I wanted a date. I just wanted an indication I wasn't going to just jump into bed with him. Because I didn't trust him. And even if he would live up to all his things that had me like the things he was saying over the phone, okay? He also had a sexy voice, which just added to it. I knew that if I wasn't comfortable, I wouldn't enjoy it. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And he wasn't willing to do anything that would make me comfortable, which means seeing me again. You don't have to spend a penny on me. Just show that you're willing to see me again without, us. Nope. In the end, that was that. Unreal, huh? Not unreal. I don't think like, oh, he's a jerk. I was like, whatever. I was proud of my own self-control. I'm not going to do that. It's too long. I can't do that. And like I said, I was treated very, very badly by Donald, both in bed and out of bed. So that's that. That's the story of personal ed Brian. Okay. So now you know the important ones. The important ones, book guy, Brian, that guy that I should have never had any back and forth with him at all if I didn't know what he looked like. It just doesn't work out. You gotta know what the person looks like. You can't just be flirting back and forth and then and then you're disappointed and then it's awkward and then never ever ever again will I do that. Never ever ever will I be that stupid again. I don't like it. And then I told you about the couple that were before Foot Guy and Brian and that guy. They were my initial ones when I first started doing the personal. Now you know even more what makes me tick. Or what I've done, or how I think, or as I sit here and intentionally shut myself off from the world because it ain't fucking worth it to me.